Hi, we are not your mum. Now, exactly a week ago, at the time of recording, this country voted for Brexit, i.e. they voted to leave the European Union. Since that time, you'd be forgiven for thinking that the whole country's gone mad.
There's been anger, betrayal, disappointment and racism. In short, it's been blooming horrible. So, what the fig is going on?
Firstly, what is the EU? So the European Union was founded way back, just after the Second World War, to try and rebuild Europe and to stop there ever being another horrific war like that ever again. It wasn't called the EU back then, but it was the same thing. And now there are 27 countries in the EU. Each country pays a kind of membership fee to be part of the EU, which is mainly paid through taxes on everyone who works, all adults who work. And in return you get to kind of travel and work freely within every country within the EU.
So why did the Leave voters vote to leave? Well, there are a few reasons, and not all of the Leave voters will agree with all of them, but here you go.
Here you go. Sometimes a government of a member country might want to make a law, but if the EU central government says that they can't make that law, then they can't, kind of end of. And people who voted Leave believe that the UK should be allowed to make its laws without having to go through Europe first.
Ask a Remain voter though, and they may disagree with this, as they would argue that actually this has stopped our government from implementing some laws which were not very good for the environment or workers' rights, for example.
Secondly, many of the people who voted Leave are against immigration, which is basically other people from other countries coming to the UK. They think that the UK is too small to have people just kind of coming in, and also they think that jobs in this country should go to British people first.
Remain voters would argue that this country was built on immigration. It's good for the economy and they want to live in a multicultural society. Also, hundreds of thousands of UK citizens work in other EU countries, and immigrants pay taxes just like everyone else.
There are obviously loads of other issues that people voted Leave or Remain for, but those are arguably the main ones. And so the vote was last week, and the result was pretty much 50-50, but the Leave voters got slightly more. I think it was 52% to 48%, so Leave it is.
Pretty much immediately after Leave won, the people who were in charge of the Leave campaign admitted that they'd lied about quite a lot of things.
Yeah, quite big things.
Yeah, quite a lot of the stuff that probably would have been, a decider for the voters. The financial markets went, the pound went boom, and the UK is now officially a country with less financial and economic power.
A poll of Leave voters revealed that more than 1 million regret their decision in light of lies, etc., and the financial markets. And horrifically, there has been a surge in racist incidents since last Friday when the result became known. While, of course, many people who voted Leave aren't racist, it's probably safe to say that everyone who is racist voted Leave. Now, whichever side you're on, that is a pretty scary thought.
Part of the problem with this result is that not everyone voted. The turnout was only about 70%, and of the people who didn't vote, most of them were under 25, which is really stupid when you think about it, because they're going to have to live with the result for much longer than someone who is 70, for example.
Can we just say here that whatever you believe, it is your and our democratic right and responsibility to vote. I mean, people have died fighting for the right to have a say in the running of this country, and it's, it's our duty to honour them by voting. So, if you know someone who didn't vote, can you just have a go at them for us, please? It's not on.
Mm-hmm. So, what now? No one knows, basically. It's all a bit up in the air.
All a bit up in the air.
The UK separating from the EU can't happen until someone invokes Article 50. Article 50 is the sort of official, we're leaving.
Definitely going.
It's a signal to those people to say, toodle pip, nice knowing you.
It's the leaving the EU klaxon. Awooga. So long, farewell, happy to say. It's the official version of So Long Farewell from the classic musical, The Music.
Now, who that somebody is that invokes Article 50, we don't know. Because David Cameron resigned, saying that he'll leave all that to the next guy or girl. And we don't know who that's going to be yet.
Also, in the past, referenda with this relatively low level of turnout and with such a tiny weeny margin between the winners and the losers have been overturned, or there's been another referendum, or they've been ignored.
But understandably, the people who voted leave would be pretty peed off if this was to happen. They will argue that democracy means standing by the decision, whether you agree with it or not, and they kind of got a point.
They have kind of got a point. Others would argue that with the Leave campaign's lies now totes exposed, it would be undemocratic not to have another referendum, especially in light of the large numbers of Leave voters who are regretting their decision.
Whatever happens, whether you agree with Leave or you agree with Remain, we all need to come together now and fight against racism. So much racism has been unleashed since this result, and we need to make sure that we stand up and say no.
No, not in our name.
To target people because of where they were born, or where their grandparents were born, or where their grandparents' grandparents were born, or by the colour of their skin is just beyond repulsive.
So yeah, those are the facts for you. Possibly a rather dry episode, but it's important to know, and hey, maybe you'll have a school project about it. You are welcome.
Yes, you are.
Thank you for watching, and we'll put some links to other info, specifically also info I think from where we got all the facts and figures, what we have just quoted.
Thank you very much for watching. Check out other videos if you like, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.